Hello, friends. How are you? We are back at Ballazo today, and today we are going to discuss about Liverpool and their transfer strategy. Today we have two good guests with us. We have Prateek. Hi, Prateek. How are you doing?
Great, yeah. How are you?
I'm good. And we also have a special guest tonight. We have Nitika with us. Nitika, you might not know, but she has her own YouTube channel where she discusses about football. Nitika, can you please tell our fans about it?
Hi everyone, my name is Nitika and I run a channel called Indie Corp. It's related to everything related to football. So I do reaction videos, I do all the technical analysis video and stuff like that. So it's quite fun and you should go and follow that channel. It's Indie Corp, by the way.
Okay, do follow the channel and also our channel Ballazo Sport. So let's
Yeah,
dive
definitely.
in. Okay, guys. The first thing I wanted to know is you all know that we had a dominant season of 2019-20. We won the season quite comprehensively and easily. We played dominating football, and then the next season we barely managed to enter the top four at the last day. So we can see that there were some problems related to injuries and inconsistency from some players. So what do you think are the priority areas that Liverpool need to sort right now in order to perform better this season? Nitika, what do you think?
I think that okay, injury का तो बहुत बड़ा issue था last season, no doubt about that. We were playing pretty good, and December तक तो we were at the top of the table, and I thought that we have the season in our hand, that's fine. But listen, our striker, it's just that in our attack, it was Mo Salah who was working for us, but Mane had a horrible season, and then Jota also met with an injury because of that weird match that I think Klopp made him play in that Champions League match, which is not required at all. So I think those were the decisions that Klopp made, and also the whole team wasn't working together very well. And then Kita is always injured. Whenever we need him, he's not available. And Klopp thought to use him in that Real Madrid match, which was very I was just very angry in that match, that why did he use Kita in that match. So I think we had a little bit of trouble in every spot. Maybe the morale of the team was down because when Virgil van Dijk is there is another solid personality behind who keeps motivating them to move on and get goals and stay focused, and for what we are doing, this matches and everything, why we have to win it. That was lacking. Even Hendo got injured, so there was nothing left in the team, and we could not expect that we could go ahead and win something.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Missing key players like Henderson and Virgin van Dijk might have been the reason for their lost morale. Prateek, what do
Also,
you
Joe
think?
Gomez was
Yeah, actually.
yeah.
What I think is that the major concern last season for us was the loss of Joey Gomez and Virgil van Dijk. That was something that affected us a lot. Yes, there were a few players who could manage to play at the center back. Henderson was one of those players. Fabinho, another one. So basically, what I think is that initially, when all of our center backs actually got injured, all of our recognized center backs. Uh, because of which Fabinho had to play at the back. He does not have pace. Initially, it was all roses and sunshine. We thought that okay, the sky is all blue, things will fall into place. But later on, what I think is that some of the good opposition uh, found out the loophole, all right, the lack of pace, and the thing that our fullbacks could not travel forward, that was one of the key reasons why we could not score. What I think is that our main strength lies in the attack, and because of uh, because of the lack of the centre backs that we have, we could not attack the way we used to. We had to learn to play different. We became a bit more predictable. That was one of the major concerns and major reasons why we faltered like mid-season. What I think is that because of which the key players that we should actually look into uh, can be spread across, and that is I'm sure we will talk about it later in the show. But then again, what I think is that the major concern was the loss of the centre backs, and even the makeshift centre backs, they actually found it difficult to manage. They got injured as well. We were eventually forced to sign a player on loan in Kabak. another player who got injured as well, Ben Davies. What I think is that it was a tough season, a very difficult season uh, for us to manage, for us to get the tempo right, and that was a major concern for us. That's what I think.
I completely agree with you with the point that the fullbacks were not able to go forward. The main strength of the Liverpool lies when both Andy Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold are passing balls for the players inside the box. That's when we score. So the next thing that I want to talk about is quite controversial. The man, the captain, the leader. He's been playing for Liverpool for past 10 years, and I think he has won it all. He's the heart of the midfield. As you know, he can be a makeshift defender as well. Jordan Henderson. Right now, Liverpool has not done anything regarding his contract extension, which is a thing to worry, I guess. So, is it justifiable that a man of his caliber, like we have been comparing him to Gerrard because of the position he is taken in the team, because how he lifts the team. So, is it justified that he's not been approached with a new contract right now?
What I think is that Gerrard is already 31, and when FSG actually joined, they came in from the understanding of Moneyball, right? So Henderson is already
Henderson.
31. Yeah, sorry. So Henderson is already 31, and FSG believe in the Moneyball league. And what I think is the contract expires in 2023, 2 years from now. I actually don't think it's of an urgency. I would certainly like for him to sign the contract for another 2 years, but I think financially and football wise, it makes sense to wait for another year and see how Henderson performs this season, and then probably give him a huge contract because he's already getting paid around about 120,000 pounds per week. So those are the wages that he is on. And if he signs a new term contract or a long term contract, I'm sure that he will want more. Uh, FSG being super frugal, the ownership being super frugal, what I think is that it makes sense. I understand their viewpoint as well. However, as a fan, and I'm a huge fan of Henderson, and not just of Liverpool, I think I would like for him to sign the contract for another 1 year or two, but I've got no concerns at the moment because 2 years it's a long time. I'm sure that when Genie's contract was on hold, even then we thought the same thing. But it's more about the age difference now, right? So Henderson will be 33 by the time his contract ends. Genie would have been 30, barely 30. So I think that waiting for Henderson's contract makes sense to me.
The right thing is that all the fans love Henderson. I can't think of anyone who says that I am a Liverpool fan, but I don't like Henderson. Because that guy does it all. Nitika, what are your views on this?
Well, I think that, yeah, definitely that makes sense that whatever is happening with Henderson contract, but still I feel that Henderson has a lot to offer to this Liverpool squad that is going to, even if, he turns 33, I think he has a lot to offer because we have seen that, just look at Sergio Ramos, he's 35 and PSG signed him, okay, whatever the deal was, but I don't think that this is that time of the, century that we can talk about that players are turning 33 or 35 and they don't have it in them to offer to the club that, the pace, the speed, the morale, whatever it is, or the, the captaincy, the way he handles the team. I think he still has a lot to offer to Liverpool, and I can see winning another Premier League with Jordan Henderson because whenever he's there in the squad, that I'm not saying that he's just there to, boost the players because he has other work to the assists that he gives, they are brilliant. No doubt, nobody notices that. Nobody sees those. But as a defensive player also, but as an attacking mind player also, Henderson has it all. And I would love it if he stays in the club because we cannot start, selling players or offloading players, starting with Jordan Henderson. There are already so many players that need to be sold off before him. If you're thinking about, rebuilding the team, you can't just start with the captain. And I think he needs a contract extension for sure, because he is like giving everything to the Liverpool team, and not that he is any liability to us, because he has not been till now. And that it's good enough that if they want to see for another year that how does he perform, that is okay. But still, I feel that it's not really fair for Jordan Henderson also to, like, not give him a contract extension, because he is a very solid player. We all know that. We are Liverpool fans, we know what he does. But still, I just feel that we can give him a contract extension, and that would be a good business too, giving, making Jordan Henderson captain for another 2 or 3 more years. I think that would work for us.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Also, I've noticed that the matches in which Henderson was missing, Liverpool were not at their best. Like the midfield was not performing the way they used to be. So, whatever the work Henderson does, no one is able to see, like you mentioned, Nitika. But he's
It's
an important
on-field and
cog.
off-field work. Yeah, completely. It's
Yes.
on-field, off-field, and the captaincy that he provides, I think it is one of the best. And I will really give him the credit for making us win so many silverware in the last 2 years, because he has that quality. He knows what it means, and he knows what it means for everybody, the fans, the club, Klopp, So he's going to give it all. चाहे जो हो जाए, तो वो तो matter नहीं करने वाला है. तो वो तो I think contract extension is necessary for him before, like, we can offload maybe Shaqiri, there is Origi we need to offload. There are so many players we need to offload first before the captain. So I think contract extension for Jordan Henderson is necessary in my point of view.
Well, I hope the Liverpool management listens to this podcast and they do it very soon. So I wanted to ask something hypothetical. What if Jordan Henderson leaves? What if? So who would be an ideal replacement for him? We have to, we should know that Gini Wijnaldum has left already. So what if Henderson leaves too? What would be his replacement?
Listen, I think that if you're talking about in terms of captaincy, because after Jordan Henderson, sometimes it's James Milner who gets the captaincy band, and even Gini Wijnaldum has left the club. So I think to provide that captaincy-ship in the team, it'll be Virgil van Dijk. I think it'll be going to him to provide that strength, to boost the players. Even though that I know that Salah wanted to be the captain, he showed interest in that, even in that junior team that he was playing in for, I think, FA Cup or League Cup, and it was Trent Alexander-Arnold who was the captain. It was not Mo Salah, and there was some trouble also on that aspect. So I think it will be Virgil van Dijk who's going to provide that morale booster and the strength that is needed in the team. So I think it'll be Virgil van Dijk who would be doing that.
Okay, Prateek, what are your thoughts?
I completely agree with Nitika. There are two things. Number one, I tried imagining life without Henderson, and it's really hard.
It will be tough.
It will be really tough because yes, Virgil can be a leader. He already is. But Henderson, the way he shouts at the field all the time, he's full of energy. On and off the field. What I think is that he is irreplaceable, at least looks like at the moment. What I think is that if he is stripped of captaincy, or if he is allowed to leave 2 years from now, I'm sure that Van Dijk will be the captain, because I also heard that Milner is also leaving after this year.
Season.
They are letting him go. So the third captain, so Liverpool had 4 captains. The fourth captain has already left in Wijnaldum. The third captain is Van Dijk. The second captain was Milner, and he is about to leave next year. So 2 years from now, if Henderson is not there, I'm sure that Virgil van Dijk will be the captain. Having said that, if you're talking about replacing Henderson with a new player altogether, I would like to see Saul Niguez to come in. Why? Because what I think is that he does sort of the same work with a bit more guile than what Henderson offers over here. Saul has been an inspiration for some time now for Atletico Madrid, and the way his technical play is, and the way his energy is, that kind of complements to what Henderson offers. Yes, he's not very vocal, but he can be when the times are right, and we have seen him time and time again performing in the Champions League. Um, if there is any player, if there are, so I have two options actually. One is Saul Niguez, the other one could be Declan Rice. But then again, what I think is that in order to replace Henderson, we need a character, and that character needs to be versatile as well because our midfield is that way. I think we should look for a leader, and that can happen in Saul Niguez. That's my first choice. Else, if we have to choose a captain within the team, Virgil van Dijk will be my choice.
Okay, so right now there have been talks about Saul Niguez, a contract with Saul Niguez has been underway, and we're seeing that Liverpool have been interested in midfielders to replace Gini Wijnaldum. But right now, Liverpool has been quite slow. They have not been proactive. The only signing they have done is Ibrahim Konate right now. So, do you think that being this slow would affect them in some way? What do you think, Prateek?
What I think is that we have been super slow. The season is right around the corner. We have been slow. There are other teams, so I don't think Chelsea needs a signing. Yes, if they sign a striker, very well. But even if they don't, they have enough firepower. They have signed enough players last season. Manchester City, as we all know, if they don't offload any player, I don't think that they need to sign anyone. Yes, Aguero has left, but then again, last year he was a bit part player. All the top teams, even Manchester United, they are looking to reinforce. We have signed only a centre back, which was a necessity, but what I think is that it could hinder our chances to actually compete. I still believe that we will finish in the top two this season, but winning is not like so. I'm not confident about us winning at the moment just because of the signings that have not taken place. Gini Wijnaldum, yes. He has left. He played 89% of all 89% of the matches that we played last year in the Premier League. He was one of the most robust players who didn't get injured, right? And we have not yet replaced him, and we are not even sure whom we will be replacing him with. That is sort of a concern for me, and I see that as a distress uh, for the fans as well. Yes, if Saul signs, perfect. Else, Renato Sanchez is also more of a complementary player, I would say. He has all of those qualities that Genie Wijnaldum had. What I think is that, yes, we need to sign. Even if we sign both of them, I will be like really happy because most of our midfielders are actually always injured, including Oxlade Chamberlain and Naby Keita. I think we need to offload the players who are not working. It's high time. We have given enough chances to everyone. If Oxlade Chamberlain plays as a number nine, I'm fine with that. But I'm not okay with relying on him uh, anymore. And same goes for Naby Keita. If he stays, if he signs a contract, I'm good with that. But I'm not really sure if we can compete with the same team. We need midfielders. We need some reinforcements. We cannot have Fabinho play at the centre back again. We cannot have, let's say, uh, um, play without a centre midfield or a centre defensive midfield option. We need some reinforcements. We need some energy. We need some goal scoring midfielders if we can as well to remove the burden of the top the front three. But whatever happens, I am pretty hopeful that we will be signing. And I'm thinking that as soon as we come closer to the end of the transfer window, we will be making some surprise moves like we did last year with Jota. We even need a right back actually. Nico Williams, I don't trust him as a backup. But then again, apart from these three players, I don't think that anything is missing. I think if we sign three players, one would be any like one player who could play instead of Firmino if he's not performing because he has not performed for a while. Apart from his defensive work, I don't think that he has actually scored a lot of goals. We need a goal scoring forward as well as an option. Origi is not someone we can trust. A right back and a centre mid, and I think we are ready to go. We are almost there. Even if we sign two of those three players, even then I'm hopeful that we can compete. And I like it will be be a morale booster for me as a fan that okay, Liverpool can go all out and win it. So that's just my opinion.
Well, I'm sure that the morale of the team would be high with that too. Also, you mentioned that availability of Naby Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain has been a bit of concern for Liverpool. Like we have noticed when there's a calling, they both are either injured or unfit to play. So you are right that we need a good midfielder, and also one I would like to see a midfielder who can score from long range. So that would be good. So, Nitika, what are your views? What do you think? Saul or Renato Sanchez have been linked with Liverpool, and do you see someone else coming in, or would these two would be the cut?
Well, like the question was that, why is that happening very slowly, the transfer thing, and
Yeah,
we signed Ibrahima Konate as soon as we could. And I understand that we thought that, this transfer window is going to be Liverpool's transfer window, because we signed Ibrahima Konate, like I said, very early. But then I think the priority of the club right now is that, they want to offload players so that, it's not that we don't have money, but we have a lot of baggage, I feel, and we should have done that a long time ago. But it's like nobody wants to leave Liverpool, and that is what is happening with Origi. We gave him a contract extension, like after the Champions League win that we had won that Champions League, and right now it's like there are clubs interested in Origi, but he doesn't want to leave. And Shaqiri, he does not get the play time. Otherwise, he's the one who can get us goals, like you said, from long range goals. He can get us that, and he provides that creativity that we need. But we just don't use him. We have seen him being that player for us, but like I said, we don't use him. And I think our playing 11, they're going to be pretty much same except for Gini Wijnaldum. And if that is the case, Liverpool is very predictable, and it is not possible for us to, even expect to win anything. FA Cup and League Cup, Klopp is never interested in them. Forget about that. We can't win anything because our playing 11 is very predictable. If Klopp goes again with that 4-3-3 formation, it's going to be again that back four: Virgil van Dijk, then Joe Gomez, then it's Trent and Andy Robertson, and it's everything is going to be the same except for Gini Wijnaldum, and it's going to be Mane, Salah, Firmino again. So I don't think that there are the clubs in Premier League, they don't know how to break that pressing, that high line that Klopp makes them play. So there is a necessity now for us to get a midfielder. Obviously, we need a Genie replacement, and we can't. Curtis Jones is not the one who's going to be the replacement, and we can't depend on Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain. Even though in this training that is going on now, Oxlade-Chamberlain has come out to be a very good understudy, you can say, for Firmino as a striker. We can use him as a striker, but depending on him and going for the entire season with these players and not signing any attacking player or maybe midfielder, I think it's not possible for Liverpool right now. Even though the club has said that they are going to offload players first, like happened with Marco Grujic. He's just signed the deal with Porto, and it's good that we have started to do that. But I think they're taking a lot of time, because if players cannot play together in this training season, if they can't have that experience of knowing how the other player, their members, how they play, so that affects a lot. And that is why the early signings were necessary, because now Ibrahima Konate would get that exposure of playing with Virgil van Dijk, of what the team demands, of what it is needed. And that is not going to happen with other players, even though Jota managed to settle because he had Premier League experience. Now you can't get Renato Sanchez or maybe Saul, and we can expect them to have that experience and just settle in Premier League and go ahead and play. Even Thiago Alcantara had took some time to settle, and Keita has not settled at all even now. But whenever he plays the best game, no doubt. But we can't depend on them, and that is why we need to sign as early as possible so that they get a feel of their fellow mates, so that they can have a better season.
Well, let's hope that Liverpool does some magic and makes some magical transfers at the last moment that surprise everyone, even us.
Seriously.
So, yeah. And I agree with one thing, that no one wants to leave Liverpool. Neither the fans nor the players. Everyone loves the club.
Exactly. That is what the club provides.
Yeah. So moving forward, now I just want to know from you guys, I'm giving you a situation that you are in the Liverpool management. Okay, you have the dream team right now, and you have unlimited amounts of fund. So, who would be the one dream player you want to sign? Like everyone is right now available for you. Everyone wants to play for Liverpool, and you have to sign just one player, dream player, irrespective of any conditions. Like mine, I would like to see Lionel Messi playing for Liverpool. So I just want to know from you guys, who should be that player from you? So Nitika, who would be your player?
Well, I'm okay, no doubt. I would love to have Messi on the team. But, I don't know. Why do I feel that the superstar players won't work for us if Klopp is the manager? Even that is why I was not very excited if they were thinking of signing Mbappe, because I just don't think that superstar status player would work under Klopp, because it's a very team oriented football that Klopp makes them play. So okay, there is just one name that I can think of, and that is Chiesa. I would love for Chiesa to sign, the way he played in these Euros, and
Euros.
I'm sure that how he would develop under Klopp, it will be brilliant, and I'm sure that Chiesa would be that player that I would love to have on board. Even though I know that he's not going to come, but it's Chiesa for me that I would love to have in Liverpool squad.
Right now, everyone is impressed with Chiesa's performance in the Euros. He has been a
Yeah.
key player, and I've heard that Manchester City have been behind him and they are offering him some deals.
They
So
can. Obviously, they can. They would.
let's hope something happens and he comes to Liverpool and makes your dream come true.
I wish.
Prateek, what do you think? Who should be your player?
I agree with Nitika. A superstar player might not work for Liverpool, but still, I'm going to make an exception here. I'm going to say that I would love Mbappe. All right, in the red shirt of Liverpool. What I think is that he has a speed. He fits the profile of the front three that Klopp aspires to have. He can play anywhere in the front three zone. We have seen him play on the left hand side for France, for Monaco as well. For Paris, he has played central, even on the right hand side. What I think is that I would love for Mbappe to sign for us. Um, I think Klopp will only improve him even more, and that even thought of that is scary. And I what I think is that he can make a huge difference in the Premier League as well. He is the kind of player that I actually think that could make a huge, huge difference if he signs for us. That is one. But ignoring the superstar status and ignoring all the big egos that are out there, what I think is that if we sign Kante, we will be unstoppable.
Yeah.
He fits the profile as well. I think he will make our defense. I don't have the word for it even. Unrupturable.
Fortress, it will again be a fortress.
It will be a fortress for sure. The thought of having Virgil van Dijk, Joey Gomez or Konate, along with Kante playing centrally, center defensive. What I think is that any of the oppositions, I cannot even imagine, not even Manchester City, they will find, so even if they penetrate, but even then they will find it very, very difficult. I think we will become unstoppable and it will become uh, easier for us to go forward, and it will become even easier for Alexander Arnold, Robertson to stay forward, and the front three that we have. This will also, or this can also enable us to play 4-2-4. Okay, so we tried that against Manchester City, and what I think is that 4-2-4 was scary for the opposition. If I was a Manchester City fan, I would. So it was A, unpredictable. B, I would have been scared. Like that initial 30 minutes when we were playing 4-2-4, that was unbelievable. All right, Firmino dropping back, rest of the three forwards going forward, and when the time came, Firmino trying to head the deliveries as well, brought in by Alexander Arnold. I think that it can signing Kante can make us an unbelievable team and an unpredictable team at the same time.
Well, Chelsea will be dead without Kante, I feel, and they won't give him at any cost. Like, I don't think they would accept any bid, even if that bid outreaches Messi, then also they won't be leaving Kante. Okay, now quickly before wrapping up, I want to know that what would be your playing 11 for this season? I mean, what is the strongest 11 that Liverpool would
Out of the
start with?
players that we have, out of the players
Yeah,
that we have,
yes,
okay, uh, Allison in the goal,
yeah.
Alexander Arnold, Robertson, Virgil van Dijk, unpopular opinion, Joey Gomez alongside him. I think they both complement each other wonderfully. Joey Gomez is a sprinter; he can run really fast, and that complements the way we play as well when we play the high line. In the midfield, again, cliche, Fabinho, Thiago, and Henderson. Henderson playing on the left hand side. Uh, yeah, Henderson playing on the left hand side. I would like for him to play there because the way he cuts in and he has the long range in him. It's just that we never, or Klopp never gave him the opportunity to actually explore that side of him. Uh, the front three, it's a bit tricky. But what I think is that most of the games this season, and if I was Klopp even, I would have played the same front three again. Salah, Firmino, and Jota. One player that I would like is Ollie Watkins, but and if he signs, I would like for him to play centrally. Jota coming in from Firmino adding guile whenever required against tough opposition, but that will be my lineup.
So you haven't mentioned Loris Karius for the goalkeeping post. Why?
Yeah, that was my first choice, but I was like, let's pair him. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would like for him.
Okay, Nitika, what are your thoughts?
Okay, I agree with whatever Prateek is saying. That is all okay. But if there is another thing, I think that that's very predictable. Out of the players that we have and
Yeah.
whatever he has picked up, and I think everybody, even the mid-rise table, low-level teams, they know how to stop Liverpool from scoring with that formation. So I was thinking about it, and it might be a very unpopular opinion at the moment, but I think that Klopp needs to change the formation, and I want to, I really want them to change the formation. So it's a very unpopular opinion, like I said, but I feel that we should go for back three and then 3-4-3. I want to go with that. It's Ellison, Becker, and now we have Virgil van Dijk, we have Ibrahim Konate, we have Joe Gomez, who are very tall, solid players. And if we can have back three and then move Andy Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold in the midfield, and then we can complement them with Fabinho and Thiago Alcantara. Now the thing is, why do I say that? Because uh, who Trent Alexander-Arnold, he won't have to, come back for the defensive duties that he has to do, and we know the kind of runs that Andy Robertson makes from that position. Because for Scotland that he played, for those 3 games that he played, he created most of the chances. I think he created 5 chances, Andy Robertson, in that position. And then front three, then maybe not make Firmino the false 9, and let's just make him play as a striker, the right role of that number 9. Formation change is needed, and this is a very weird formation. Even I know that, and I can't imagine them playing that way. But I would love to see them playing some friendly, and let's see how that works for us. Just that.
I
Well,
think
how?
I think we cannot move. So even when Germany was playing 3-4-3, Klopp was not a big fan, and he was vocal about it. I think if we change the formation, it would be more on the lines of a 4-2-3-1. I'm not sure it will, like, if it will make us unpredictable or not, but that's just what I think. Klopp is uh, a very, I would say, all his life, he has stuck with, even at when he was at Maine or Dortmund, and now when he is at Liverpool, he has never deployed a back three, and
Yeah.
Brendan Rodgers was more, I would say, dynamic on those lines. A 4-2-3-1 is still a possibility. I think
Yeah, it's three
the
four
back
three
five.
is like an impossibility that it's never really going to happen. Which is
Yeah,
I
it
was
is.
just thinking about it that
It
what
is.
if that happens? I just want to see that how does that turn out to be, because we have solid centre backs. It's Ibrahim Konate and then Liverpool, then Virgil van Dijk, Gomez, and I thought that if we can use them and let's see how that turns out to be. Will we play high line, and then that is quite impossible in that scenario. But I was just thinking about it that if that happens, otherwise it's going to be that clear 4-3-3 formation that Klopp plays, and you mentioned that is what my 4-3-3 is, to be honest. But I just wanted to think about that if we change the formation and go that way. So how does that work out to be?
Well, one thing that would happen with that 3-4-3 formation is that Andy Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold will get more freedom to play attacking football. Like they don't have to
Exactly.
come back, so they'll make more chances for Liverpool, and that might help them score more goals. But defensively, I don't think that they have ever played backline of three. So who knows? Maybe Klopp goes the unconventional way and goes to explore something new. And 4-2-3-1, like Prateek mentioned, is on the lines. Actually, I saw one game or two where last season where they played this formation. So they might be thinking about this about in this season as well. So let's see what goes on. And so thank you guys. It was really wonderful talking to you tonight. And let's hope Liverpool finishes at the top and wins the Champions League as well. Let's hope for that. And quickly before leaving, do subscribe to our channel Ballazo Sport and also Nitika's channel Indicop. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prateek. Thank you so much, Nitika.